I've played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for more than 200 hours, and I've shot more squids than the US has shot civilians in unnecessary Republican-backed wars. So trust me when I say I know a thing or two about the Gloogla Dualies Deco. Boasting strong damage, range, and mobility, the Gloogla Dualie Decos are far and away one of the best weapons in the game, beating out every other dualie by a mile and every other weapon by the length of a football field. They sit alone as an X-tier weapon in Splatoon 2, while nothing else can beat C-tier. How can I make such a bold claim? Allow me to explain. The most important rule about using the Gloogla Dualies is to never dodge roll. It's a common misconception among newer players that dodge rolling can increase your damage output, but dodge rolls do nothing of the sort. You may have noticed that the Gloogla Dualies possess two reticles. This is a very subtle way of the developers letting you know that each of your two dualies shoots separately, and each reticle corresponds to one of your two dualies. Two reticles, two guns. However, look what happens when you perform a dodge roll. Your two reticles become one. Two reticles, one. Two shots becomes one. Rolling significantly hinders your ability to shoot ink and score kills. Don't dodge roll. So how do you win then when dodge rolling slows down your time to kill so much? Well, the better strategy is to keep moving your right stick back and forth as you shoot from one reticle to the other. Practice with the targets in the training area for a few hours and you'll get the hang of it. When you have mastered the technique, you'll be tearing through your foes like a kitten tears through that new overpriced designer couch you just bought. Be sure to throw on tons of run speed up as well so that you can strafe as you're firing. More. A lot more. Still more. Close. Perfect. Well, almost perfect. As a dualie main, you are prone to dying once or twice a match, so having a dedicated main to bringing you back into the fight never hurts. My hundreds of thousands of subscribers frequently ask me, should I replace a main of run speed up with comeback or stealth jump? And my response is always the same, drop roller. You see, drop roller allows you to perform the greatest maneuver in Splatoon 2, the dodge roll. A dodge roll is when your charger performs a roll to dodge enemy attacks. Using drop roller allows you to perform a dodge roll immediately after landing. You should jump to your teammates as often as possible to take advantage of your newfound ability to dodge roll. Now, let's see how the Glooglas do in the X ranks. Well, that wasn't bad, but I suppose it doesn't hurt to look at the Gloogla's sub and special weapons as well. The Gloogla Decos come with a splash wall that can provide a great defensive shield that stops enemy bullets like the United States war on drugs stopped narcotic sales. And we all know that was a huge success. Whoops, hang on. There we go. The splash wall has succeeded with amazing consequences. Perfect. For those willing to invest in some sub saver up, you can use 6 sub slots to create 2 successes with amazing consequences. First, I'll throw one there, then I'll turn around and just throw another one over there. Now I'm protected by both the front and back. Trust me, my rear is still perfectly covered. As an alternative, you can create a super wall by throwing both splash walls right next to each other. And there you have it. A wall twice as effective as the one on the US's southern border. Completely random side note, I am sponsored by MS Paint. MS Paint, we can edit your drawings, but we can't edit your life. Yet. The splash wall is also a great offensive tool. It deals 30 damage every half second, so if you can hit your opponent 4 times in quick succession, you can kill them that way too. Better yet, you can shoot an opponent twice and then follow up with a single splash wall to finish them off. The Gloogla Deco special is a baller. Insert joke about how baller and ballin' sound similar, but then subvert their expectations by saying that the baller is not balling at all. Right, the baller is absolutely balling, except it's not. The baller is unfortunately just about the worst special you could ask for when wielding the Decos. If your ball was a Super Monkey Ball, it would be something worth talking about, but the Splatoon 2 baller is much more like a bunch of baloney. A bunch of ball-loney. You see, the baller provides outstanding defensive potential with its casing, and great offensive potential when it explodes, but the Gloogla Decos don't really need either of those things. They already have great offensive potential with the Glooglas themselves, and the splash wall is as good as a defense can possibly get. As such, I can't recommend using the baller except in the rarest of circumstances, and you should probably avoid using any ability chunks that will benefit your special. The one time that using the baller may be acceptable is in Clamblitz. If you've played Clamblitz, you've probably seen people use the baller to roll over to their opponent's basket. A teammate with a power clam will then super jump to the baller for an easy throw. This isn't an awful strategy, but it would probably be better if the person with the baller just rolled over to the basket themselves with the power clam. Why overcomplicate things with 2 players when one person can do it on their own? Watch and learn as I put sphere into the hearts of my enemies. Shit. Watch and learn as I put sphere into the hearts of my enemies. Watch and... Yeah, the baller sucks. There are 2 things you can do with the Gloogla Dualies that will pay huge dividends immediately. The first is button remapping your left trigger. Normally your left trigger allows you to turn into a squid, but this isn't very valuable for you since you're decked out in run speed gear. Instead, you want to make it so that your left trigger now shoots just like your right trigger. You've got 2 guns, so it only makes sense to shoot with 2 triggers. Now you can shoot your right Gloogla with your right trigger, and from your left Gloogla with your left trigger. The more realistic shooting method is what I like to call badass mode. I call it badass mode not because it makes you bad, or because you're being an ass to your teammates when you use this setup, but rather because you look super cool when you do it. It makes you look so cool, or badass, that you'll pick up all the chicks, or bronies, or whatever you want. I wanted a pizza when I went into badass mode, and in return I was gifted some tacos. Now that's a win in anyone's playbook. The other thing you must learn with the Gloogla Dualies is the Tall Stall Wall Ball Fall Mall, or LLL for short. So what exactly is the LLL? Let's go through it step by step. Tall, go somewhere tall. Stall, keep your opponents from killing you until your special is charged. Wall. Throw a splash wall to keep your opponent from escaping. Ball. Fall. Last comes Maul, where you explode the ball on your trapped opponent. It takes some practice, but eventually it's like riding a bike. The biggest problem people seem to have with the LLLLLL is that they go somewhere short rather than tall. Remember, it's the LLLLLL, not the TLLLLL. That's something totally different, something that you shouldn't search unless you're in incognito mode on your browser. Totally NSFW. Also, this is not to be mistaken for the mall stall doll brawl, where one starts a fight in a mall invading someone's privacy in the mall bathroom by opening the door and throwing a doll at them. So that's all there is to it for the Gloogla Dualies. Now let's see some slick moves by yours truly using Splatoon 2's best weapon. Well, I stand corrected. The Gloogla Deco sucks. Big time. Give me a recommendation for what weapon you would like to see me review next. I might read the comments to make a decision, or I might just take a nap instead.